Welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute, your source of internet marketing inspiration.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute. I'm your host, John Henson, and this week wanted to talk about just kind of a common sort of brand, not a mistake necessarily, but not necessarily realizing the full potential of what an entire branding initiative might be. So what am I talking about? So, a lot of times I think people get this misconception that your firm's brand is just kind of like your logo, your color scheme, maybe like your core message, your core mission statement, whatever the case is. But it really goes a lot farther than that. It's your brand is how you're presenting yourself to the entire world, right? It's how you are it's not just the message you have, it's how you're delivering it. And so it goes so much farther than just having those elements. It's also how you present those elements and communicate those messages. And that's, it begins to bleed into marketing in general. But, I think branding is an element of marketing. And so they're, in some ways they're one and the same. But especially in the legal world, I see a lot of these law firms that, they take that brand and they try to be super unique about it. And like, they have like this nickname, oh, I'm the Bulldog, or I'm the Sledgehammer, and we're crushing the whatever. And and they'll do that, it's part of their logo. Maybe they have a cool little tagline for it, but then that's it, and it's this sort of misguided notion that if you are unique and you have some sort of unique name or some sort of unique imagery, then you'll just automatically stand out. And that's not the case, right? Like being unique is not enough anymore. It's all about how you present yourself and present yourself consistently, right? Like people, if you are just making one touch point, and it's like, contact the Smith Law Firm and get the Sledgehammer where we crush the insurance companies. Like, cool. People might remember that once, like, oh, that's clever. That's nice. And if they never hear from you again, they're not going to remember you. Right. So it's continuing to hammer that message home. That pun not intended, actually. But it's continuing to send that message out. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to get that crazy with it. Right. You don't have to have an animal mascot or some sort of, metaphorical kind of thing that you have going. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be, so unique that you stand out in that regard. All you have to do is just have consistent messaging, and whatever is true and authentic to yourself is what's going to ultimately build that momentum in the long run and help people more easily associate you with what you do and how you help. Right. And so, if you want to have that sort of mascot or fun catchphrase or whatever that makes you unique, fine, but you don't have to. It's not a necessity. Right. All you have to do is have consistency and repetition. Right. That's all it is. You broadcast that message out consistently, daily, maybe a couple times a week, at least a couple of times a week. But do that consistently. And that's what's going to build that top of mind awareness. That's what's going to make sure that people always remember who you are and what you do. Right. Like a good example is just like if you have you are the legal eagle or whatever it is, and you just set up a bunch of billboards on the interstate, and it's you, and you're holding a bald eagle because you paid a bird handler. I don't know what the name for those are. It's a name anyway, but you paid someone to let you borrow their giant leather glove, and you have just a big bald eagle resting on your arm, and you're looking off regally in the distance, and it's like, you're the legal eagle. And it's like, cool. But if that's all that people know you as, they're not going to know when to call you for what, so it's, like I said, the imagery is fine. You can do that if you want. It's not a necessity. It's not a requirement, but it's how are you getting that message out, right? Because here's the thing, and the way that marketing is going, it's going to continue to get more difficult. Everyone wants to be unique, right? And it's not even in just the marketing world or the business world. Everyone wants to be unique in some way. The one or two traits that just make them super special and make them stand out. And we're going to get to a point where everyone's got a unique thing, which then ironically means that, whatever, if everyone's unique, no one's really standing out because everyone is then in their own little world standing out. So how do you mitigate that? How do you continue to make sure that you maintain some sort of lasting impression on your audience? And it's all about how you go about communicating that message. Do it consistently, do it regularly, and do it in such a way that people associate your message with you, right? It seems obvious, but I see a lot of law firms that don't do this. So, post consistent blogs, create videos, create consistent social media content, send out consistent emails. It doesn't even have to be super often. It should be at the very least monthly for blogs and emails. I would say 2 to 3 times a week at the very bare minimum for social media, but I would honestly recommend daily because, again, we've talked about this before. Not everyone's going to see every single thing that you put out. You're not going to annoy anybody, but that's the key to occupying a space in someone's mind in the long term, right? Because like I said, you can put up a fun billboard and you'll occupy a space in someone's mind for 5 seconds, but what good does that do you? Right? Instead, you keep pushing that out. You keep doing that. And then you can occupy space in someone's mind and their memory for a lot longer. And then that's what brings in the referrals, repeat business, new business, whatever it is. So that's the challenge this week. Again, if you have that brand or that, iconography or the mascot or whatever, fine. That's cool. Great. It's not a necessity. You don't need to spend a ton of time trying to figure out a unique pun or metaphor or anything like that to stand out. Okay. That is not a requirement by any means. What is a requirement is that you consistently broadcast that message if you want to build that momentum, keep that top of mind awareness, and drive those referrals. All right. Hope that was helpful. Hope that gets some wheels turning for you. As always, we're right here to help you. If it's something that you feel like you need help with and building that momentum and building that system, we've got the tools and the solutions to help you do that. So definitely give us a call if you're interested. Otherwise, please go take that podcast listener survey. Had some responses come in already, and we really do appreciate that. And really just want to hear from you out there as you're consuming the show, what you're interested in, and how we can better serve you with this show. And so, we don't take these sorts of surveys lightly. I know we tend to send a lot of them. I know we pushed the Trends Report survey pretty hard last quarter, but we just want to hear from you, and we want to know what you're thinking, what you're interested in, what you want to hear about more, and yeah, just anything that we can do to serve you better, and that's our ultimate goal. But that's going to do it for us this week. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. Please visit lawfirmmarketingminute.com for more information. We'll see you next time.